Today I'm going to talk about the different types of cutting boards and colors of cutting boards that you're going to find in your kitchens. Most kitchens that I have seen have a lot of white cutting boards, which is completely acceptable. Or there might be a couple other colors in there, but a lot of people don't know what they're used for, or they've only seen a chart once when they've taken a ServSafe test. So let's talk about these cutting boards and what they're used for. When you get your cutting boards, a couple of things to be aware of. You want a durable surface you can cut on. If you have an old wooden cutting board hanging out in your kitchen, it's the potential to harbor bacteria and germs. They're probably not allowed anymore. So you're going to find a lot of these plastic type cutting boards. When you get your cutting board, make sure it's dry. If it's not in a rack like this and they're stored flat, there's a potential for water to form between the surfaces after cleaning, which can then form bacteria and viruses and pathogens. So you want to make sure that your cutting boards are clean, not too many stains on them, and then you're also going to look to make sure that there's not any big divots or grooves in there. Those grooves and those divots, again, harbor bacteria and germs and can potentially make your customer sick. Some kitchens, they'll also take a clean rag and they'll put it under their cutting board to help with stability. If you do that, that rag, again, needs to be dry. Those rags need to be stored in a chemical sanitizer, so I don't recommend doing that. Another thing about cutting boards, if you're done cutting on one surface and we want to move on to another task, don't flip it over and reuse the cutting board. Take it to your sink, wash it, rinse it, sanitize it, dry it, and then it can go back into service. So let's get back to the colors of the cutting boards. We have a couple different varieties here of colors. So what do they all mean? A white one is for our ready-to-go food. It's already been cooked, it's been processed, nothing else is required of it. So this one is for your ready-to-eat foods. Breads would be something that you would cut up on this, and sometimes you would cut some other types of pastries and things. Most common cutting board in kitchens. Our green cutting board. This is for washed fruits and vegetables. So you can cut your cucumbers, your apples, all of that right on this cutting board. You're going to make sure your fruit has been washed in a food prep sink before you bring it over. Again, check for the grooves, make sure you don't have any major dings or damages on them, and again, it's ready to go. Our next color that we're going to pull out, which is definitely not seen as much in food service and nutrition, but I'm hoping to see more of, is your blue one. These are used for fish. So again, this is keeping our food groups separate from each other, so you're not cutting fish where you cut bread. And so there's a limiting of spreading viruses or germs between them. Our red cutting board is for our raw meats. This is going to be where you're going to cook or cut up your beef and any beef products. A nice red cutting board. Some kitchens do not have all these combinations, so it's okay to use different ones for different activities as long as everybody knows what. Our yellow one is for chicken. Chicken's associated with this, so your raw chicken breast goes on here. Again, the idea being if you cut your raw chicken on this cutting board, that you're not going to go and cut it on this white cutting board, limiting germs spreading between the surfaces. And our final color is for pork, which is this nice kind of tannish color. Again, inspect all your cutting boards and kind of observe them. One of the things that we don't often see in kitchens, but is definitely recommended for your cutting boards, is one of these stores. It's really simple, but what it does is after you wash your cutting boards, it's really easy to put them up. It puts a nice space in between, and it protects them from dings and damage and makes them stored in a nice upright position. Your staff will also appreciate how easy it is to get a cutting board and that they don't have to reach through a bunch and pull them out. So it makes it a lot easier for your staff working in the kitchen as well.